Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. It is the beginning of Survivor 45, Survivor Now's coverage of Survivor 45, that is. And today we are here to break down the entire cast, which got officially released a week ago. I believe it was a week ago at this point. I do feel like we kind of have insight because a lot of us knew who was going to be on the cast. Maybe a few of us have met some of them before. So we kind of have a little, edge on the game, edge on the competition when it comes to the podcasting world. But we have so much to talk about. As always, we're going to be making our predictions. Today, I am joined by my wonderful co-analyst. First off, Abraham from season 41. Abraham, welcome back to Survivor coverage. I mean, you did it all summer, but welcome back.
Look, it's no better place to be in September than doing Survivor. So let's get to it. We got a whole new cast, a whole new adventure. See what changes this season. You know, I got to give Survivor credit. They've capitalized on their mistakes. They've made changes. I'm just excited to see what are the previous 4 seasons going to bring to season 45. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to see anything new that's just like we're just trying to try it on you. I want to see something that's been washed out. If we do the birdcage again, I want to see some pterodactyls. I want to see something flying.
That's the way to say it. Okay, so Abraham wants dinosaurs this season is exactly what Abraham's looking for. I mean, it just keeps getting better. And Tegwyth, Abraham won't understand this because he lives in Texas where it's 100 degrees the entirety of the year. Yep. But for you and me, I'm in Indiana, you're in New York. There's 2 things at this time that kind of tells you that fall is upon us. The weather starts to cool down drastically and very suddenly. And we're getting ready for another Survivor season. How are you doing today?
I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. It is like, to me, I know Survivor's in the spring and in the fall, but like, I know that summer's like winding down and fall is here. And when Survivor is like here, and I'm so stoked to talk about it as always with you both. I am just like, I'm on the moon right now. I can't wait. Things are falling over my house. We're all good.
That's how excited she is.
I know.
No, okay. I got to tell you guys, before we get into, I have some stuff to talk about really, really quick before we get into covering this entire cast of 18 players. But I feel very good this year. I'm wearing my Survivor kind of Hawaiian shirt. I feel super confident that this is the year that I pick a winner and that winner actually wins or makes it to the final at least. I feel that confident.
For the fans, do not follow Randy's selection.
No. He
has not been successful in 4 straight seasons. So I don't know if 5 is going to get him over the hump, but you probably look at me in Tegwyth's picks and be like, it's a little more solid. So I ain't saying Randy won't pick a winner. I just can't tell you what season. That's all.
Yeah, let's see who gets the Randy curse this season. I apologize. So far, every time I say someone wins, they struggle. So let's see how I do. But before we get into the actual cast assessment, just a few things for you guys. Our kind of membership tier list is no more. So all this is going to be coming to you guys for free, but you can still support the channel. Make sure to like the videos, subscribe to us, share it to your friends, your fellow Survivor viewers. That really helps us grow as a channel overall. Obviously, check us out on Spotify as well. Leave us a rating. That also helps us out. Check out our website, survivornowpodcast.com. I told you guys on Instagram that we had some exciting news today. We are officially live on Twitch for the first time this season. We have a Twitch channel. So if you'd rather watch us there, you can check us out. And then some other big news. Last season, we partnered up with Bracketology to bring you kind of a mergatory competition in a sense. The second half of the year, you could play Survivor Fantasy. Every week, I would do a fantasy show giving you guys advice on who you should pick. Let me just say, I won last season. So if you're not listening to me, get on over there and listen to my picks. And Tegwyth, I believe, came in the top 5, if not top 3.
If I remember correctly, I was 3rd. I was pretty proud of myself on that because I am famously bad at fantasy Survivor. So I'm very happy that I ended up doing well last season.
Well, hopefully you do well again, because it gets even better this year. We are partnering up with them once again, and we have even more fantasy gifts for you guys. We gave away a gift package last year on our Facebook fantasy contest. Well, that is no more, and we are officially moving over to Bracketology full-time this season. And let me tell you guys some of the gifts we have available. So if you win, you get a cameo from your favorite player from this season if you can win the fantasy competition.
Whoa.
If you finish second, it just gets better, honestly. Some people might rather finish second. You get a custom pop from Todd Herzog of your favorite player this season.
No way.
If you finish second. We got some other gifts. There's going to be some signed pictures from your favorite analysts as well, if you get a top 10 finish. And we have even more that are in the works. Plus, Bracketology also said if you're one of the top finishers, they will throw in some merch as well. So we have some big gift packages this season. You got to get in on this competition. Listen, there's no link yet because I haven't set it up, but once they set it up, we will get that link out for you guys so you can join. You got to join before the season. It is really easy to play. You pick your team every week of 3 to 5 castaways, and they get points based off how they do in the episode. It is super fun, and I can't wait. So this is a huge partnership we got going on for season 45 as the channel. Like I said, like the videos, share. It helps the channel grow. We can bring you guys even more content. Before we get in, J.E., hey, all, 5th season of the new era. Let's go.
What's going on, Jay?
It has been getting better and better. He also said, well, Randy is clearly going to pick Brandon because of the Hawaiian shirt. You might be right. You might be right. Okay, let's get into this. We've got so many people to cover. And unlike usual cast assessments, we would prefer not for this not to be like 2 hours long. So let's get right into this. First up, we have Austin. I have the full name up. Austin Lee Kuhn. I'm going to mispronounce some of the names today as well. 26 years old, born in San Jose, California, currently resides in Chicago, Illinois, and currently he is a grad student. So I'll start us off here for Austin. I put high energy, fun, maybe a bit at times, and that's in a good way. Coming from me, a super energetic person, you can come off really strong, sometimes a little too outgoing. And this guy is super nice. I've met him. He seems like an incredible dude. He compared himself. This is another fun thing. I got all of this information from people or wherever I was reading the bios this morning. They all compared themselves to a player. So we're going to get some fun comparisons in this video. He compared himself to Owen, which we all love Owen. I mean, robbed a 0 vote finalist that should at least gotten a few votes. And I feel like Austin's going to be incredible at challenges. I feel like he's going to be a challenge beast this season. He's very athletic. I have high hopes for Austin personally, but I say personally and high hopes because I think he's going to come off a little bit too much. I think he could be seen as a physical threat early on. I think he could be a person who talks himself into getting voted off. So, I mean, Jay's right here. Austin is a triple threat, but my fear is it's a little too much early on. I've got Austin going pre-merge, and that kills me. Right off the bat with a hot take, I think Austin goes pre-merge, but I do think it's going to be like right before the merge. I think with the new era, we've seen a lot of players get screwed out of the game with some twists, especially around that mergatory area of the game. And I think Austin could be someone who gets screwed because of the mergatory twist this season. So, I mean, Tegwyth, some strong reactions coming from you. What, disagree about Austin?
I disagree. I don't know. I really so I don't know if you said this earlier, but in the Entertainment Weekly thing, one of the things he said was the 3 things he said about himself were ambitious, sweet, and clumsy. And I feel like clumsy is a very you kind of know yourself well. If you're like, yeah, what's one of the 3 things to describe me? Clumsy. I feel like that is somebody who knows themselves, knows how maybe other people see him, and then can like use that to his advantage in his social game. And then I feel like ambitious and sweet are such a good combination of words to use. It's not somebody who's like ambitious, driven, and whatever. Ambitious and sweet kind of balance each other out. So I feel like we might see a pretty good social game from Austin, which I feel like maybe could save him through, and I think he's going to be kind of mid-merge range. When we did Australian Survivor coverage, I like ranked people. And just so everyone knows, I go into these without like having the placements beforehand. I think it's more fun. I think it gets a little bit, my takes get a little bit weirder. So
I love it.
Just know this. But I think he's going to be post-merge, but I think he's going to be maybe like in that 5-6 range, like coming in 5th or 6th. So I'm going to just say 6th just to play it safe. But I definitely think he's going to make it to the merge.
Iconic place to finish. I mean, if you're one of those, like if you're the 5th place, 6th place finisher, we've seen some iconic players finish in those positions the last couple of years. Abraham, which side are you leaning on with Austin here?
First of all, I like Austin. Austin comes with a lot of energy. Here's the one thing I like about Austin. Austin has walked on both sides of the circle, introvert and extrovert. So that allows for him to be able to play with any player in the game of season 45. The people that are considered or identified as nerds, the people that are identified as outgoing, he can be on both sides. He went through a transformation as a kid into an adult, into a man, and now he's going to come to put it on display on Survivor. I think he has the right mixture to definitely make it to the merge. I don't think we're going to find where he's going to be so overbearing or so over the top. We saw Danny last season. If he'd have kind of tweaked a couple things in his game, we could have been looking at Danny as season 44 winner. But he went in there just two guns a-blazing, where I think I'm going to go Austin has that temperament where he can get through the game and he can bring his past life to help him out to be able to have a social game with anybody on his tribe. And if he can kind of say, you know what, I know I might be a physical threat, which is crazy because if you're not physical at some point in the game, guess what? You get voted out because your tribe loses. So I'm all for the physical players to try to maintain that edge, but you got to know when to pull it back. So I think he has enough of an even balance. Austin is actually he in my top 3. So
wow, right off the bat.
He can get to the top 3. I think he just has that balance because he says he was an extrovert and then he understands what the introvert world looks like. So I think that balance is what he's going to need, especially as we go through more of the cast and we see their personalities. I think he's just a good fit with any tribe. We'll just see how he's going to kick off. But he definitely has the energy to win Survivor. So he's definitely in my top 3.
As always, I am the person who is on the outs. Let us know in the comments what you think, Jay, who has been active. Thank you for keeping the chat active, Jay. I have him making the in-game 5th to 8th place. So agreeing with you, Tegwyth. I mean, yeah, I am definitely on the outs. Well, let's keep it rolling here with our next castaway, D. Valadores, or Valadares. Sorry if I butchered your last name. This is how I see D. I see her as a nicer Abby Marie. She's got that. Do we see what I'm saying? She's got that Cuban attitude. She's from Cuba. She's compassionate. She compared herself to Jesse and Tony, 2 very blunt, strong players to be comparing yourself to. That's how I see her. But because of that, the thing about Abby Marie is she had an attitude. She had that. She literally said in her bio, I'm talking about D here, that she's fiery. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Abby Marie is she was fiery, but still did very well at Survivor. She made it pretty far pretty much every time she played, so it didn't really hinder her. And I think what really hurt Abby in her seasons is that she could never draw it back. She was always fiery. I think this is someone who could draw it back when she needs to. Mm-hmm. I think D has a very strong chance to make it far in this game, and I have her making the merge. I do think D is going to make the merge. Abraham, I'll go to you next for D. What are we thinking?
D get put out pre-merge. She's out.
Why? What's your reasoning about
Here's the thing about it is
going out pre-merge?
Here's when you come in to the game of Survivor, you give the speech. I have a fire and I'm passionate. There's nothing wrong with that. Problem is, can you contain the fire? Can you contain the passion? Here is the biggest problem with most people that play Survivor. Can you get out of your own way? Can she get out of her own way in those first few days, not to piss anybody off or overplay? Let the game come to you. That is going to be the mark right now for D. Can she let the game come to her? Now, if she can let the game come to her, she'll make it to merge. But right now, I'm looking at her getting in there, want to set dominance, let people know she can get it done. And if we go back to Tony got voted out too. So this ain't to, and you're dealing with so many dynamics and personalities in such a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. Can you get dialed into how to play your game quick enough where your own personality doesn't get in your way? So that's why I see D. If she can get past her own self, and she's done a startup business herself, she has the capability, but she's also 26, dealing with people that are from diverse backgrounds, mm-hmm. diverse personalities, and add everything else in there, the elements, the lack of food, the lack of sleep. Can she manage all that stuff? So if she can manage that, I'll put her past merge. Right now, I don't think she's going to make it past pre-merge.
Ooh, Tegwyth, you're the tiebreaker here. Where does D end up?
So here's the thing. I honestly think, like most people on Survivor, it really depends on the tribe she is on. She does CrossFit. She's run marathons. She likes to be outdoors. She has all of this stuff going for her. And I think that she's going to be seen as a very strong competitor, specifically female competitor on a tribe. Right. So if she is on a tribe that is, say, like kind of how Franny was last year. Franny was very strong on her tribe. She helped a lot. So if she's on a tribe, I think where, she is, they're winning, and she can be seen as somebody who's like a part of them winning. I think that she will make it, pretty far. That's the thing here. That's why I kind of am thinking like right around the merge. So I was thinking maybe somebody in the same vein as like, who was it? Josh last season, who was the mergatory boot, or right around there. So I'm kind of thinking that for D. And I honestly really think that her game is going to be maybe not focused on the physical, but I think it's going to be a part of it. Definitely. Like everyone's game is, obviously. But I don't know. I'm just thinking that that's going to be a part of it. Doing CrossFit is like huge. Like Natalie Anderson is like super big on CrossFit, and it helped her tremendously on Survivor. So I don't know. So I'm thinking, I'm doing my numbers, right? So let's say I say she makes it in, I'm going to say right in the middle, like 9th place. 9. Voted out 9th. Oh.
Tegwyth, I'm convinced you have Ryan in the other room just acting as Jay, because he agrees. I have no idea where to place her, so I'm going to place her going out in the middle of the game around 9th place. That is back-to-back times that Jay has like perfectly agreed with you. This time he did it before.
Get out of my head.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's just Ryan in the other room right now. That is her boyfriend, everyone who might be confused at that joke. All right. Next person we got. I think you could argue this guy is the preseason favorite among a lot of the fans. So we have Brandon Dolan. He's 26 years old, was born in Sickleville, New Jersey, which he is still there. He is a content producer. 3 words to describe him: empathetic, inquisitive, relatable. Tegwyth, why don't you start us off? Because Brandon is, I think, just like all of us, we're all super fans, but Brandon puts super fans to shame. If you look at some of his some of his tweets that he's put out trying to get on the show, the steps he's taken, we've seen a lot of like his build up to finally getting on the show, and he genuinely looks so excited to be out there.
Yeah. Which worries me. I would be worried if I were doing this cast assessment and I was going out there, I would be like, oof, she likes Survivor too much. This is gonna be a little bit of a problem. One thing I find it really interesting. He compared himself to, he wishes he was Mike White. Maybe he didn't compare himself to Mike White, but he wishes he was Mike White. Mike White has one of those games that is like I think is probably one of the best games that we really haven't, as viewers, didn't really get to see as much. The things that the people on his cast say about his game is so complimentary and so amazing. And I would really, if he plays a game like Mike White, I am so here for it. On side note on this, when the cast officially gets announced, that's when I don't follow people who are on Survivor until after the cast officially gets announced. So I do like a big major follow throughout all of my things. And on TikTok, I went to go follow him, and it said follow back, and I went, okay.
Okay, so she's got a little favoritism going on here.
Yes, I do, but I am worried about how excited he is because I see it in myself. But because of that Mike White, it's kind of like balancing it out for me. So I am going to say he's going to make it to the merge, but I'm going to say he's an early merge boot. So I'm going to have him going out 11th, which would put him in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8th place. 7th, 8th place is where I'm thinking. But here's actually a contradiction. I'm going back on what I just said because I think the excitement would wear off. So I don't think that would be a problem. So I'm going to say he makes it a little bit further than that. I'm sorry. I think he's going to come in. I'm going to say 5th.
Oh my!
Oh wait a minute. You talking about 5th overall?
5th overall.
Jay was kind of not agreeing with you until you said that, and then he had him finishing 4th in the comments. So again, close. He's obviously a huge super fan. He's very easy to root for. He's likable. You can form that connection. Like anyone who is sitting at home and is addicted to Survivor, you can connect with the energy that this guy gives off. He's very comparable in that sense. You brought up Mike White. He also said he wants to do well like other writers who have gone on the show, bringing up David Wright, Cochran, Penner. I never thought of it like that writers have done actually pretty well on Survivor if you look at the grand scheme of things. Also, he's very compassionate about pay teachers more. So I just had to throw that out there. Yes, preach. I agree. I think he does make the merge. I think he's got enough going for him to make the merge. I'm worried for the exact same reasons you are, Tegwyth. A lot of times super fans, and I mean like super fans, can overplay. So I'm a little worried about that, but I do think he can make the merge. I just don't think he's going to make it far once he makes the merge. Abraham, which side of things are you on?
I want all the fans to remember now. We make these picks based off of information provided by the cast themselves. You provide us information, we go through it, we look at it. Some of the people we had an opportunity to say, hey, how you doing? But ultimately, his bio says how much stuff he hates and dislikes. And he doesn't like grown men with Snapchat. He doesn't like people that says hi when they really want something.
Abraham, do you have a Snapchat?
No. Snapchat, man. First of all, anyway, that was a trap. No, I do not. Speaking of Snapchat, derailment right there. I just think that he's going to overplay himself. I think that he has the energy to play Survivor. I don't think he has I think his temperament's going to get in the way. Because you got to always remember, here's the thing. There's a difference between playing Survivor sitting at home on the couch and actually being in Fiji, going through the preparation before day one kicks off. Before you see that first episode and it kicks off, there's a lot of stuff that goes into Survivor that's going to make you question yourself, question your abilities, question the person next to you because you never met them. You don't know them. You don't know how to come at them. And he just has so many things that he doesn't like. He said, I hate tabletop games. So how are you going to talk to somebody who loves tabletop games? You got to be adaptable. So I said, you know what? I got him going out at pre-merge. The only way he makes it to merge if he can adapt against himself because he has so many little things that he doesn't like. Now, if you want to look at the Cochrans, the David Wright, we've already seen them play. So we know how they play. And they're a little older too. So they went into the game in a different perspective on how to play. You know, David Wright was a quiet, nerdy little dude, but he was scrappy. You know, Cochran was calculated. You know, Penner was an older player. So his whole approach, and it was a different type of Survivor at that time. He has to be able to deal with himself first before he can deal with anybody else. And only because of what he put in his bio. If he is his bio, He's out at merge. Pre-merge, he's gone. Let me write him down.
Okay,
He's
Abraham, I hope you're wrong because that kills me. That honestly, like if he doesn't at least make the merge as a fellow like Survivor nerd who eats, sleeps, and breathes Survivor, my heart will break for him if he doesn't at least make the merge. But
hold on, he said I feel like I give off big top game energy. I'd rather get a root canal than play. I don't even know Catan. I love Catan. What are you talking about? I'm a Catan player. When I go to Brad's house,
Catan. No,
look here. Shout out for my man Brad from season 41. When I go to his house, me and his whole family, we play Catan every time.
Don't worry, everybody. I will fact check Abraham once this podcast goes off the air. I just can't simply believe that. Our next person is a Tegwyth winner, if I've ever seen one. Like, I'm interested to see where she put Emily Flippin, 28 years old, from McKinney, Texas. She currently resides in Laurel, Maryland, I believe. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Occupation investment analyst. She's direct, genuine, and aggressive. I'll start us off on this one. She's not going to take any BS. I'll say it like that. I think she's going to have, she could rub players the wrong way. And I'm not just making that assumption. This girl compared herself to Chaos Cass. That is a big thing to be saying. Also, I think she can make her own mistakes in this game. Abraham, you talked about someone who hates everything. Emily hates everything. Her pet peeves, nearly everything. This is a quote, and I quote, "You name it, and it probably irritates me. I'm not also, and I quote, I'm not religious, but I am guided by my own very strict sense of right and wrong." This screams to me as someone, I think Emily is a lovely person. I think outside of the game, she is amazing to hang out with. But this is someone who I think can be a little fiery, have a little bit of attitude. I don't think she's going to take anybody's BS. You lie to her, you're going to hear about it, is basically what I'm saying. I could see her blowing up someone's game just out of spite. That's what I'm worried with Emily going into this game. And for that reason, I put a lock symbol next to this. I think she is for sure going out pre-merge. I think she's going to get on somebody's nerves. I think there's going to be a confrontation. This isn't old Survivor, so I'm not saying like a fight or a dumping of the rice or anything like that, but I do think there's going to be a very big disagreement between Emily and other players. When I said Tegwyth winner, I wasn't talking about like the type of person she actually is. I was talking more about like kind of the look of her. Like if I looked at this picture, I could see Tegwyth saying that's my winner pick. Abraham, I'll go to you before I get to Tegwyth because I am interested to hear her thoughts. What are you thinking about Emily? Jay agrees with me. I agree, Randy. Locked in pre-merger. Her tribe is not built for her personality, so she's definitely pre-merge. I'm very worried about Emily. She's got to control it.
If they lose in the first challenge, Emily is the first person out.
Oh, I heard.
She's the first vote. And here's the thing about it is, you provided, so backstory, we provide this information about ourselves. Sometimes you got to sit down and be like, okay, what do I really want people to know about me? Because that's what we're going to judge you on. We don't know you. We probably haven't met you. You're probably the greatest person to meet in person. You're probably just a genuine person. And you have these attributes in your life. But we're playing a game of Survivor, so let's get to the real. If that personality presents itself in the first couple of days and you lost a challenge, she's the very first boot.
I mean, she's like that. Like that's just her in her everyday life. We're talking about on an island, you're going to be starving. You're going to be sleep deprived. You're going to be cranky. People say when you go on Survivor, you sometimes meet your true self because you don't have all the goods of food and shelter and stuff, kind of sheltering you in place. Tegwyth, are you with Abraham and I? Abraham says first out. I think she could be one of the first three out. She's not my first, but where are you at on this spectrum?
Yeah, so let me start with saying I think I typically go off of this by the 3 words to describe you. So when we were doing this last year and I was looking at Maddie Pamila's one of the words she described herself was feral, and I was like, yeah, I love her. She's amazing. She's like she's gonna win the whole thing, essentially is what I said. Unfortunately that didn't happen, and robbed got us. But that is something that I really go off of. So her 3 words are direct, genuine, and aggressive. So I like those 3 words. Sorry, my cat's playing with this toy and really messing up my stuff. So those 3 words I find, when I was talking a little bit earlier about Austin, I thought his words really balanced each other out, right? So they were a little bit more balanced. Here, I'm worried about the 2, direct and aggressive. I feel like those go a little bit, they work together to be kind of the same thing and could be not so great for her in the long run. I will say though, I like that what she says, the question was, why will you be the sole survivor? And her answer is, I lack a lot of the traditional qualities that make a good survivor player. I'm out of shape. I don't really like the outdoors, and people can find me off-putting, which is exactly why they'll never see me coming. That's what she said. So I kind of love that take of like, which is why they will never see me coming. Oh my God, he is freaking out over here.
He's just so happy for Survivor.
So excited about Emily.
No, he's like, don't try to put her past pre-merge. Don't do it.
So what I think is going to happen is I do think that she is going to be maybe pre-merge. But the thing is I think if she makes it past the first couple of votes, I think that she can go very, very far and maybe come in second. But I'm not going to lock her in the final 3. I'm going to say that she is going to go pre-merge, but I'm worried that, because I'm worried about those first couple of days. I feel like that's where it's really going to be make or break for her. But I think if she can make it through those first 3 days, I think she's going to go really, really far. But I'm locking her in at 3rd boot, which all pre-merge. I
was going to say, we all agree for the first time this video.
And I also want to say, Emily, 3rd boot is where I see myself going. So this is kind of like... This is kind of like
don't even talk like no. We're not gonna talk like that. No.
When me
and Randy do your ranking, then you can come back to me and Randy and be like, Abraham was right, Randy was wrong, Tegwyth wins. We're not doing that. No, we're not.
No.
Let's go.
It's a kind of an ongoing joke in my life. So Emily, this is almost like an honor from me. So you're welcome, I guess. But I'm just kidding.
Following in Claire's footsteps, another robbed queen, or was she 4th out? No, I think she was 3rd.
Depending on whether or not we count Bruce, I think she's 3rd and or 4th.
The cat can't wait to play. I mean, we got to get the cat out there. Let's go on to our next castaway here. So we have Brando Meyer, 23 years old, from Oak Park, California, currently resides in Seattle, Washington. He's a software developer. His 3 words to describe him: curious, clever, and motivated. Also a huge baseball fan. Abraham, you haven't started us off yet, so start us off with Brando Meyer here.
Well, the IT people I have an infinity for. Again, I love IT people. I'm an IT guy. So,
bias.
I'm a little bias on IT. I think that we're going to see the cleverness of his game come in there. I think he's going to be clever enough where he can kind of, the first half of the game, he can kind of just, I don't want to say just kind of just ride through it. I think he can get through the first half of the game by just being supportive, being that guy that's just not making too many waves, play that type of game. Then I think in the second half of the game, because I got him going past the merge, I think that's where he's going to either have to make some decisions to set himself apart so he has a chance to win Survivor. But I definitely think he's going to make it past the merge. And I think he's just kind of going to go through, not make a lot of waves and try to make the right connection. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. Let's see how clever he is. Let's see if he lives up to his 3-word description of clever. I think that his background and his ability to be able to deal with different situations, I think it's going to come in handy. But we're going to see. I like him as a player. I think he's going to be an interesting player. And I just want to see how he gets past the first half of the game of Survivor. So I got him as pre-merge. He's not going out. He's going to make the merge.
Well, Chris says, is that Carson's brother? And then J.E. said, Brando, a.k.a. Carson 2.0. He even said on Twitter that he practiced puzzles beforehand. Maybe. Okay, Tegwyth, what's your opinion? Are you going with Abraham? He makes the merge here?
I honestly have a little bit of a feeling that he's maybe going to go out a little bit earlier than that. And I don't know. There's something about, and for me, I'm being a broken record. It always goes back to the tribe, right? That's obvious. Somebody said it in the comments. Hey man, we're not doing that. Sorry. Going back to the comments, somebody said he's a bit like Zach crossed with Carson. Chris said that. Yep. And I do kind of see that Zach. I don't know if you're watching Big Brother, right? Like Corey is obviously like Zach because he's his brother. And Zach was first boot off of his season. So I did see that when I saw this and I was watching like or reading all of this, I was kind of picturing a little bit of Zach, which makes me slightly nervous for him. Not because Zach isn't great. Love Zach. Love him. But I do think that he's going to go slightly early, and I had him going out 5th.
Wow, that kind of shocks me.
Yeah,
we're gonna disagree. I definitely respect this guy's shirt game.
yeah.
He's a very smart kid. Am I allowed to start calling people kid now? I turned 26 in January. Am I allowed to call people kid?
No.
Oh well. I'm sticking with it. He's a smart kid. He ran 3 miles every night, so he's cardio driven. I think he could be more athletic than people think. Like when you first see him on the island, you're probably going to think Carson, nerdy type. Everything Carson was, I still don't know if he was that athletic, even though he looked athletic. I think this is a guy who could be really good at the endurance challenges and a little bit more athletic than Carson was. Compared himself to David Wright. He would like to play like Yao Man, which I love that. Yao Man shout out. Thank you. I think this guy's a sneaky pick to win. He's not my winner pick.
Okay.
I have him in the final 3, but I think that
the top 3. Okay. We lost Randy for a hot second, but he's back. Top 3.
We've got a cliffhanger. He's got it final 3. Well, I also just want to say while we're waiting on finding out what Randy's going to say, I didn't say his 3 words, and I got to make sure everyone knows the 3 words. So his 3 words to describe himself are curious, clever, and motivated. So I'm worried that those are too similar. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, is he back?
Am I back?
You're back.
I think that's good for trying to look for idols.
Yep.
The curiosity part. I think he has a good balance. I just think he has a good balance. We see the sports size balance. We see his grandfather's influence on him. I just think he has a good balance. And again, we're looking at the write-up on individuals. It just seems like he has a good balance to kind of make it through that first half. People have to understand, Survivor to me is played in 2 parts, pre-merge and merge. Everything that's destructive is going to happen in the pre-merge part because you got to get readjusted to the game. You got to get readjusted to people. You got to get readjusted to the environment. I pray for rain every day. I got voted out. So that was just me. So you got to get readjusted and you don't have a lot of time. I just think that he may have the balance to do it. So that's going to be interesting. And I think frustration is something that he may be able to overcome as a software developer. There are plenty of things that make you frustrated in the IT world trying to get something done. So I just like him. I think he's a good thing. I don't give any credit to anybody else, but if somebody else shows up with a 3D puzzle that they did at home, I'm done with Survivor. Do not call me for season 46. Well, I'm done. I'm not covering it. I'm not talking about US anymore because creativity is gone.
You're definitely going to see someone, Abraham. So you might as well be mad at it. It's going to happen. Did you guys hear my prediction or did I cut out?
No, we were left on a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah. So sorry, everyone. I've been dealing with, I don't know what it is, internet issues for the past week or whatever. So I'm trying to figure that out before the season starts. But anyways, I think he's a sneaky pick to win, but he's not my winner pick. I have him in the final 3. I think he's definitely going to make it far into the game. I feel confident about that. But let's go ahead and move on here to Hannah Rose. Sorry, I didn't get down to her information. 33 years old from Woodbridge, Connecticut. Current residence, Baltimore City, Maryland. She is a therapist. 3 words to describe herself: enthusiastic, passionate, and authentic. Here's my fear about Hannah. She deleted her Instagram, as far as I know, because I was going through to tag everybody, and I get everyone's social medias from True Dork Times. They have her Instagram link, but then when you click it, it says it's been deleted. So she's deleted her Instagram. A lot of the times in her interview, she gave very, very straightforward answers, not a lot in depth. It was kind of straight to the point. This is the situation. She identifies herself like Aubrey Bracco. Did I say her last name wrong? Aubrey, basically, wants to play like Wentworth. She is a therapist. I feel like therapists have not done too well on Survivor in recent times. They can be strong-minded at times. I'm very nervous because of the whole deleted social media. That could be something you do because you know a storm that's coming that everyone else doesn't, and you just don't want to deal with it. I'm not saying that's the case. She might just be like, I don't want to deal with it. That could be the case there. So I don't know her. I haven't met her. There's like no ill feelings, but I am nervous that she's already deleted her social media before the season has started. Usually before the season starts, you want to be elevating your social media unless you're very against that, because you're about to get a new wave of fans and friends or whatever you want to, however you want to look at it. So that makes me nervous. I have her first out for that reason.
Oh, wow.
I almost wonder if A, something happened on the island, or B, she was the first out and was kind of petty about it. And she doesn't want to see anything about it. So I'm going solely based off of the fact that she deleted her Instagram. So Tegwyth, take it away here. What am I right about Hannah? Way wrong about Hannah?
I honestly, this is a difficult one for me. So, like I've been doing the 3 words to describe you: enthusiastic, passionate, and authentic. Again, I feel like the words enthusiastic and passionate are a little bit of like a red flag for me, mainly because I think passion can kind of go both ways on Survivor specifically. Like Abraham always says, like when you go out there, you are out starving, cold, all of that good stuff. And I think that it could like go either way when one of your words is passionate. The thing that I have to do here is one of her favorite hobbies, musical theater. I'm a musical theater girly. We're literally going to go see a show tonight. Like, I live in New York. One of the sole reasons is because of theater and musical theater and just all of it. Her friend is on a Broadway national tour of Jagged Little Pill. Like, I have to hype up the Broadway girlies out there because we are numerous. Obviously, we're everywhere. We're hidden. But I feel like it doesn't happen so often that they say it in their interview for Survivor. So I have to hype her up in some way. I feel like, let me look at my notes. I'm going to say that she is right around that like mergatory area. I think.
What is that called? Pre-merge or merge? What's the mergatory area?
It's mergatory.
It's technically pre-merge, but like mergatory, like you're right in the middle of everything. It is. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say like I have her. This is my little line of people or line of numbers. I'm going to have her going out 8th, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? Like going out, you're like 12th place or something?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, I think she's going to go out 8th. That's what I'm going to say.
We do have Russell Muscle TV in the chat. Love Tegwyth's TikToks. He also said, hey. Abraham, wrap us up here on Hannah.
Hannah's my top 5.
Wow, we could not be more over the spectrum. I have first out. Tegwyth has kind of right around that mergatory, and you have her top 5.
Yes.
I'm just going to read this pretty quickly. Why will you be the sole survivor? I can read the room or the island. I can pick up clues, lay low when I need to, but be cutthroat when the time comes. And I can do it while being as real as possible and bring comic relief. Balance. Here's the thing about deleting social media. Social media is brutal. And as a therapist, you understand the brutality of somebody sitting behind a computer, talking about you and not knowing you and being able to defend yourself mentally against it. Mm-hmm. It was people said some stuff. I was like, y'all never met me. People was like, this is the richest cast of people ever going on 41. Why are they going? They don't need even money. Somebody should work at Trader Joe's. Well, we had somebody working at Trader Joe's, but they knew nothing about us. And they were beseeching us and was like, why are they picked y'all? It's just so many negative connotations. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great things that come through social media. So I can understand deleting social media beforehand as people start to read about you. We don't know anything about her. Now, after she plays the game and we see how she plays the game, now we have content to, talk about somebody. But beforehand, the brutality of social media was like, we're reading about you. And I'm saying good things about myself because I'm not going to say anything bad about me. And they were just toasting us. And I was like, I've never met these people. Where did they get this information from? So I don't have a problem with her deleting her social media up front, especially seeing what's happened in the previous seasons and seeing some of the things that others have to deal with in the season. So deleting it, no problem with that. I think she has balance. I like anybody that comes off with a balance. Not too hot, not too cold, able to do the different things and just say, hey, this is who I am. So I'm good with her. I think she's going to be in the top 5. I think she's going to be able to navigate through the different things that happen on the tribe and be able to help people kind of navigate through it. If she can talk to folks, even though our past therapists got dusted off pretty quick, I'm thinking that she might be the therapist that makes the pass and into the merge and be able to work with people and still do everything else. But I'm going to use Tegwyth's own words. She got some Broadway skill sets. I think that that's going to come in handy, and I think that's what separates her from other therapists. She has that capability. So I like her. She's in my top 5.
Abraham, you're going to need a therapist if you're way wrong about where you have her at the moment. After the grilling that I'll give you, I'll come back and be like, I told you, Abraham. Now, a lot of people in the chat,
Brandy has never won any selection, so I'm like,
the last thing I'll say about her is some people in the chat were talking about Roxroy and how he didn't have a social media. The difference with that is Roxroy, I'm pretty sure, didn't have one before he started. Then he might have created one. I don't know if he has one now or not, but he didn't have one. She had one, and it has since been deleted, which is what I'm a little concerned about, especially as she's about to be on a major television show. All right, next up, I've never seen this guy in my life. The first ever New Era returning player. I would have bet, if I had $1 million, I would have bet it all that Bruce would have been the first ever returning player of the New Era. But he is back to play his second straight season, 47 years old, from West Warwick. I said that wrong. It's tough. Rhode Island. He's an insurance agent. 3 words to describe him: funny, competitive, energetic. He is now the seasoned veteran of the show since he's played before. Abraham, you're a great friend of Bruce. Tell us what we can expect about Bruce.
Let me tell you something, man. Bruce is high energy. Bruce is high energy, man. Positive talking, good time having. I got a chance to meet him in person, and Bruce gonna bring the energy. If nothing else, Bruce don't bring to this game right here. He's gonna bring that energy in Survivor, and I love high energy players. Marianne, high energy player. Just having a fun, just going to enjoy the fact that you out there, you on the island, and you playing a game of Survivor.
Wait. Time out.
Jam.
Hold on. Time out.
Oh, Bruce is listening.
Bruce is in the chat. I am listening. Oh my gosh. Well, now if that doesn't add on to kind of the paranoia of what you say about them, where you have them. Abraham, where do you have Bruce finishing this season?
Bruce in my top 3, man. Bruce got that energy. Bruce got that energy, man. I love high energy players, man. I like players that enjoy the fact that they made it to Survivor and they don't take any day for granted, and they're bringing that energy every day. So I'm looking forward to, hey, Bruce, you better bring that energy, guy. I better not see you out there dragging. Right. But I just like the high energy. He has a diverse background. He works in an environment where he has to deal with people on a day-to-day basis from multiple backgrounds, which I always think is a balance. Anybody that can deal with different people, I give you more credit because you can talk to everybody. And I think Bruce is going to bring that out there. But I think he's going to have fun. And that's the biggest thing. For everybody that goes out there and you be on the game of Survivor, don't forget to have fun. This is a once-in-a-lifetime. Bruce, this is a second-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't forget to have fun. And I think that's one of the biggest things. So he's definitely in my top 3.
All right. Bruce, much love, brother. Much love. I have him going out pre-merge.
Oh no.
I'm saying that with Bruce watching. Okay. First, New Era returning player. I am so excited to watch him play. For those of you who don't know, the entire cast of season 44 was at Bryson Wynn Present. I got to meet Bruce, and he has instantly become one of my favorite Survivor players I've ever met. Just the energy of this man. He is such a lovable, amazing guy. Bruce has left the chat. Probably. I did put a little joke in. Can he stay healthy? We got to dial it back a little bit going into his second season. I hope so. I hope so. He compares himself to Jeremy Collins, which is one of my favorite players all time. I have his card right back here. Love that. He also says he could be a mix of Jesse and Gabler. So I could see where he's going. This is why I have him going out pre-merge. It's nothing about Bruce other than I could see players overreacting, and I hope not, to the fact that he's played before if they get that information. And I hope they treat Bruce like a brand new player because he played for one night. And I really hope they don't look at him as a returning player. But it is going to be very hard to manage your threat level on the island when you've already been out on the island. Even if you only played for a few hours, people are still going to look at you. You got your chance. This is my chance. That's what I'm nervous about. That's what I'm nervous about with Bruce. How the other people view him.
Let me just add this quickly. There's nothing to gain from being hurt the first challenge. And the players that get out there are going to be like, Bruce, can you help us? Not Bruce, can you hurt us? Because, and again, it's contractual requirements that we have. There's something between the start of the game and that very first challenge that you see that you don't know about, that Bruce doesn't gain an edge that way, but Bruce could gain an edge in them saying, hey, Bruce, can you help us, through these first couple of days? So I think Bruce is more of an asset than going to be a target on that first part. That's my spiel. I'm good.
Tegwyth, you sometimes get nervous giving your winner picks or whatever, your survivor predictions before the season. Have you ever had a player actually watching you give your prediction?
Not that I'm aware of. This might be the first. Here's the thing. I don't know if y'all have ever been concussed before. I have been concussed twice. Well, actually more than twice, but 2 times in 1 year. Really not great. Don't be a cheerleader. You heard it here first. You are super disoriented pretty much the entire time that you have a concussion. I got concussed when I was in college and I couldn't read, essentially, right? Like I should have taken that term off because I was just like not really failing my classes, but kind of failing my classes because I wasn't able to read anything. And so Bruce got a concussion, 22 seconds of landing on that beach. He got a concussion. So everything that he did out there, and I could be wrong, but when you have an untreated concussion, I lost memory, right? So he probably was just reeling on that beach. So I truly don't even think even if he tells them, and honestly, you never want to put a target on your back for any reason, right? And this could be something if they hear that he was on the beach before. But if you think about it, he honestly probably doesn't even remember any of it because when you're concussed, you're really it's not good. So I personally don't think that that's going to be a big thing in his game. I really don't. I think the thing that's going to be the big thing is his energy. I don't know if you've seen his video. I watched his video last season, but I think this season's one was even bigger because he just brings that energy onto the screen. And I really hope that it's one of those things that helps him in the long run and doesn't hurt him. Sometimes if you have that much energy, honestly, pre-merge Marianne, people were kind of hey, I'm getting annoyed with her. This is not the vibe. And she maybe didn't almost get voted out, but was thought of, right? So that's the worry, right? As someone who is also high energy, I'm always worried about, being too high energy. So that's the thing that I think that I'm worried about with Bruce, is that he's just going to be so on it all the time and maybe everyone else isn't. I do have him going merge though. I don't have him going as far as Abraham. I did have him, I was going to put him in right in the middle, but I think he's first or second merge boot. Don't know what that number really is. So I have him going out
probably 9th, 10th,
11. He's 8th place, but going.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So
I have him in 8th place. I think that energy is going to help him in that early part because he's going to have that energy. I mean, we saw how he attacked that first challenge. He attacked it. He was ready to go. So I think 8th. I'm happy with that. I hope you are too.
Well, Bruce, please go out there. I mean, I know you've already been out there, but please prove me wrong and then you can come back here and laugh at me. He
Yes.
said, still here. We appreciate your support, Bruce. Thanks for tuning in. And man, I do want to see this man go far. And let me just put it out there. Future Survivor Now podcaster? I don't know. Maybe I'm just the invite will always be there to have Bruce on the show. Would love to get him on. All right, let's move on. We're actually about to hit around an hour. Tegwyth, how much longer do you have? She might have to leave us a little early.
I'm good. I'm good for a little bit longer.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to our 8th person. I'm just going to call her J Maya because that is her stage name, and as an actor, I respect the stage names. She's a little bit of a celebrity that we have out on the island. She is already verified. She's a professional singer. So she's 24 years old. Almost 1 million? Oh my god.
I think that's what I saw. I think it was maybe it was like 500,000 or it was like 900,000. I can't remember, but she's got quite a following on TikTok.
I checked out her music this morning and it's pretty good. She's 24 years old from San Francisco, California. Currently resides in Los Angeles. Like I said, she's a singer. The 3 words to describe her: ambitious, optimistic, creative. Tegwyth, we are a little bit of creative people, so I'm going to start with you. What are we thinking for J Maya here?
I'm super stoked to have her, on this season. I feel like it's not that often that we have like this type of creative on Survivor where their job is like artist, actor, model, singer, that kind of a thing. So I'm super stoked to see how somebody like that like plays. But I think the thing that's very interesting to me is she turned down early admission to Harvard Law to be a singer. So this woman is ready to take some risks, right? She is ready to go and take some risks. And I think that's a great thing to be as a Survivor player. But then the problem here is I remember, I forget who said it a couple seasons ago where they were like, I came out to play Survivor, so I'm going to take these risks. I hate it when people say that because sometimes you take a risk and it backfires and that's, you come out to win. And if you take
play yourself out of the game. Yeah,
exactly. So that's what I'm worried about, right? She's ready to do these kind of risks, take these risks. And I'm worried about that like kind of backfiring. But I am optimistic about her game. I also love that she, Queen Parvati, she says, always been a role model. I think, she adores Marianne. All great people to bring up, I would say. So, and I also like to say, if you go look at her interview, she has very long, very detailed answers, which I think is somebody that is kind of like detail oriented, who's like ready to get down and talk about all of the different things that could possibly happen, which I think is a good thing to have in like an alliance member. So and her pet peeve is slow walkers, like me too, agree. Okay. So
New York.
I know, in LA. That's so funny to me that she lives in LA and her pet peeve is slow walkers because no one walks in LA. Like it's just dry. And I'm like, but I'm here for it. I totally agree. So all of that being said, I have her going a little bit like around where I have Bruce. So I have her going right after Bruce. So I have her coming in 7th, going out 12th is where I'm thinking that she is. I think that her, all of her enthusiasm about the arts and singing and all of that stuff and being able to take risks is going to help her up until a certain point, and then I think it's going to be a problem.
So, I mean, Tegwyth is saving her heavy hitters for a little bit later. We're having a lot of that 12th, 10th area being placed. Abraham, being a singer yourself, how do we think that that J Maya is going to do out there? I know you have a lovely voice.
Look, you know what? I love J Maya in the sense that she's carving a path in her own life, and she's done the things that she wants to do. But I got a concern on Survivor. Survivor is a different animal because you kind of smashing together so many different people in one place. I think she's going to do pretty good. I think she's definitely going to make it past. Oh, I want her to make it past merge, but I don't know. I'm on the line. I think she's going to get booted out at pre-merge just because I think the dynamics of the situation may not be where she can fit in. I don't know. I like her. I want her to get past pre-merge, but I'm going to put it at they're going to probably focus in on her and get her out before pre-merge. And again, this is one out of Tegwyth's game book. It also depends on what tribe you land on.
Mhm.
She could land on a tribe where she's good. She's going to make it past merge. She's going to be in the top 5. I think I'm going to go with Tegwyth's response. Her game is going to be depending on where she lands. For me, if you're out there and you singing at nighttime, I'm going to be like, look, I need something to try to keep my mind focused. I'm staying. We're going to keep you because you calm the tribe down. But again, I'm going to say she's not going to make it past merge based off of the tribe that she gets put on. That's going to, so I'm going to go pre-merge.
Funny thing, Abraham. The other funny thing, too, is I've heard on Survivor you aren't allowed to sing because they don't have rights to mainstream music. So if someone sings, it can't be show really. That's going to be tough. As a singer, I always thought going out on the island.
That's not true.
I would hate to not be able to sing. Ollie was Team Abraham early on and now said, I can't wait for J Maya 1 to watch. So he disagrees with you. He thinks she's going to do well. And then Chris, have to add this in. Hopefully your tribe doesn't walk slowly when they go up to walk or she might quit. Love that. Love that. She might just tell Jeff right away, no, I'm done. Oops, accidentally. Ha ha ha. I'll just put out, I'll wrap it up by saying, you guys, everything you said, you hit everything about J Maya from the interview that we got from her. I think she's going to be popular. I think everyone's going to be fighting for her as a vote. I'm interested to see if she can take charge and control her game and not be someone at the end who is just used as a number. I don't know why I have that fear about her, but I feel like she could just be a number in an alliance who is making the decisions and she's not really playing her own game. But I do think she's going to be popular. I think she's going to make final 3. She is my second person in my final 3. I had Brando earlier, which was like the Carson nerdy guy. I think J Maya makes it to the final 3. So I'm interested to see that. I'm also interested to see if anybody knows her. That is what I'm worried about, because if you know her and she's already got a bunch of followers and you know her, she makes music and she's out in LA. Well, I'm sure she could still use the money being out in LA with how much it costs. People can look at that. She's already, she's got record deals. She's got millions of people listening to her music or whatever. That could hurt her in this game. We've seen it before where, just finding out someone's a retired football player. That was already like, he doesn't need the money. So I could see it happening here. Next person we have is going to be Drew Basile. I'm going to say it like that. 23 years old from Birmingham, Michigan, I think. Wow, you can tell I need to go back to my states. Current residence, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Grad student. He's smart, witty, and dynamic. 3 things that I am not. Okay. What do we think about Drew here? So I put in a good way because I'm a nerd. Nerd alert, smart guy. Cochran 2.0. Tell me you don't look at this picture and think Cochran. But he does state, a lot of people are going to compare me to Cochran, but I see myself more like Pinner, gameplay-wise, Ryan Ulrich, which we have not heard that name in a minute. So
no way. That's so cool.
Yeah, shout out to the Ryan Ulrich shout out, I guess. I think he's a down-to-earth type guy, going to be a bit awkward at times, but I kind of see him in a situation like Kane. Last season, out of the entire cast, I was like, Kane just doesn't look that interesting to me. I think he's going to go out early. I learned my lesson. Kane found his niche. There are enough nerds on this season that I could see like a nerd alliance happening. And I'm going to give Drew, I'm going to give Drew merge. I think you could make the merge, but he is in that like mergatory, like Kane made it to the merge, but didn't make it far. He was an early jury member. I see the same for Drew here. I hope he can live up to the height that Cochran left behind. I hope he can. Cochran's my favorite player of all time. So go for it, Drew. I can maybe see a Cochran 2.0. So we'll have to see how Drew does out in Fiji. Abraham, what do you think about Drew?
You said merge?
I said merge. I have him going, making the merge.
I like him. I think that he's going to team up with somebody. I'm going to put him on teaming up with somebody is going to be how his game is going to get him. It's going to get him. I think it's going to get past merge. I think he's going to team up with the right players. As I say, you always, when you go out to Survivor, you got to at least have one ride or die. Somebody that you say, hey, I trust this person. It's got to be at least one, because they can find another one. You can find another one. And then you have enough numbers, especially with tribes of 3. So you definitely got to find one person that you can ride with. And I think he's that type of guy. I think that if you put him with an Austin, which has the ability, like I said before, to go introvert or extrovert and be able to talk to people, I think he makes a good team. So I'm going to put him, he's going to make it past merge. I don't think he's going to go deep into the game, because I think somebody's going to realize and they're going to vote him out. They're not going to let him float to the end and be like, oh no, he's in the top. No, that's not going to happen. So I think he's definitely going to be one of those players that is going to team up with someone and make it past merge, because I don't think they're going to see him as a threat directly. Indirectly, I hope he has a fabulous game and smash everybody. But I think indirectly, he's just going to play a good game.
Tegwyth, do you agree with us? We both have him making the merge. I mean, here's another thing to help you out. Philip Paul, he's also incredibly tall. Not sure if that'll translate to challenges, but perhaps he's a bigger help than just a brain. Good point there. Also, you guys might be hearing a lot more from Philip in recent weeks. I will get to that news shortly. Tegwyth, go ahead. Round us out here.
So, well, here's the thing on that. At the very end, it says, why will you be the sole survivor? He says, I'm very personable and authentic. I'm also a good strategist and potent speaker. My hope is that these attributes counterbalance for my weak physical game and help me clinch the title. So I don't know that his physical game is going to be very up there because it's something that he said himself is it not going to be the best. So I'm worried it's one of those things that, like, it's not first boot for me. I feel like first boot nowadays is a little bit more strategic and a little less like, how do we keep our tribe strong? So I feel like it's not going to be first boot, but I do think that he's going to be going out pre-merge. I have him going out 4th, so coming in 15th. Because I'm worried that if his tribe loses once and maybe a second time, they're like, well, I'm sick of losing now that we got rid of, kind of like how they did with, it was a strategic vote. What was her name? NECA. The first vote was what was her name? I can't remember. Who was the first boot in that season? She
wore the colors, very colorful.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name offhand.
You know,
but I know we talk about
Mariah.
Yes, yes.
They voted off.
Yes,
It wasn't where they voted off Mariah, and then like they lost again, and they said, "Oh man, we shouldn't have voted off Mariah." So, and then they voted off NECA. Was that how it worked? It was something like that.
Yes.
Like, where it was, and so I'm worried it could be something like that, where they actually vote somebody out first, and then they're like, man, we lost again. I don't want to lose again. We gotta, while we want to keep, doing strategy, then I want to, it was Justine. You're right.
Yeah. Chris says it was Justine. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. So I'm worried it would be like that. So I have him going out 4th, so coming in 15th place.
15. Okay, so again, kind of sprinkled throughout. Abraham and I barely have him making the merge. Tegwyth pre-merge. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Drew. Next up, we have the oldest castaway this season. This is something that we need to get into sometime. How I feel like there's less and less older castaways. The oldest person this season, 49 years old. Remember when we used to have like 70-year-olds on Survivor, 1 or 2 a season? Now 49, that's the oldest. Julie Alley, as I've stated, 49 years old, hometown Brentford, Tennessee. She's an estate attorney. She's hardworking, loyal, and smart. So here it is. I know everyone wants to know my winner pick, and everybody wants to know if the curse is broken, where I always rank the older people going out very early, and I never put faith in them. For instance, I have Bruce going out pre-merge. He's one of the older guys. I have Julie pre-merge. She didn't start watching Survivor until 2015. That was Survivor Cambodia Second Chance. Love that note because we just covered Survivor Cambodia Second Chance on our channel. Go check that out. She's a hardworking single mom, which I really, really respect. She identifies with Suri, which is another shout out. We've been covering this season of Big Brother. Go check that out as well. So thank you, Julie, for covering all the bases for us. I respect the hell out of her for being a hardworking single mom. That is something that's so challenging to do. I think it's one of the toughest things you could do on this planet. I worry about her connecting with the tribe because she's really not that old, but I just think she is much older than a lot of the other people. This season, we have a lot of 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 26-year-olds. I worry about her connecting. I don't know if she's going to do that great in challenges, honestly. So I do think she's going to go out pre-merge, but I don't think she's going to be the first person voted out. I could see it being a little down the line. I could see her being like a mother type form. I think Lindsay from which season was that? Survivor 42, I believe.
42.
Yeah, I believe 42.
Yeah, 42.
She was kind of to me, Julie is a lot like her in the sense of, I don't think, she didn't make it far. I don't think that Julie's going to make it that far in the game, unfortunately. I have to be negative Nancy over here. Tegwyth, what are we thinking for Julie?
Oh, she's going out on fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, going out on fire. 100%. She is, the thing is, where you say that you're worried about her connecting
Lindsay from 43.
43.
Lindsay from 43. Thank you.
So you're worried about her connecting with the Trimates, but here's the thing. Her two kids are 23 and 21, or 23 and 21.
And they're like her best friends, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, she has these kids who are the same age as the majority of the cast, or very close to it. So it's not like I have older parents, and my parents had me when they were in their 40s. And so because of that, it wasn't that I had older parents. I always felt like having access to me and being like in that like realm of like, you're in somebody's life who's like much younger than you, keeps you younger. Like, they know the music that I listen to. They knew all of this stuff. So I feel like that is going to be a connection. And like I'm saying, she's 49. She's not old.
She's not old. No, not
young,
whatsoever.
But she has that connection, that direct connection.
That is a hater.
And I really think that she's going to go far. I think she's going to go out and fire. And I think that she is going to do really well.
Look, me and Tegwyth on the same page. Look,
yes.
I love Julie. I think she's going to come in and play a great game of Survivor. Here's the thing about it is, Survivor is not all physical. The game is not all physical. It's a combination of different things to be able to win. And before every challenge, you get to stage out who goes where. So you can kind of put people where you need to put them. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to use a great example. Sandra set out more challenges than anybody in Survivor history, and still is a 3-time winner Survivor. So I'm not going to say
two-time.
So I'm not going to say that you can't win Survivor. You just got to have a strategy, which I think her law background is going to come into play. Being able to read people, being able to communicate with people, as Tegwyth said, is going to be crucial. But she has that age group at home, so you're not going to be able to do SMM and be like, "What are you talking about? Shaking your head? What are you?" She's going to know all that little small lingo, that little chit chat talk. But she's also going to bring that years of experience coming from a divorce. All that's going to come to play in Survivor. I think she's going to have a well-balanced game. She's going to make it past the merge. I'm going to put her in my top 10. She's going to at least be in the top 10 of players, and she's going to have to be able to navigate from there. But we've already had a player that says, look, I'm just not physical. If you're 23 and not physical, guess what? You actually put yourself on the list to be voted out. Where Julie's coming in, I think she's going to play her part, and she's going to maneuver through, and she's going to play the game of Survivor. So she's in my top 10. She's definitely going to make it past merge.
Philip Paul says this to Tegwyth. So interesting you say she goes out and fire. I was just about to say she's giving Heather from season 41.
Oh, interesting.
So we'll have to see if she lives up to Heather's legacy. Next up, we have Jake O'Kane. Love that name. 26 years old. Was born in Hanson, Massachusetts. Now currently resides in Boston. He's another attorney we have this season. This is the season of the attorneys, I swear. 3 words to describe him: boisterous, willy, and persistent. Abraham, let's go to you first for this one. What do you think about Jake O'Kane?
Look, I'm not going to read his bio. I'm not going to do his bio. I'm just going to say I met him, and I like him. I like the guy. I like his personality. I think if he can, again, everything to me is being in, seeing it firsthand. Can you balance yourself? If he can balance himself, I think he has a great personality, great energy, but he has to be able to balance himself. You got to be able to get out your own way. I definitely think he definitely is in my top 10, and I see him making it, but you're going to have to balance yourself. So I like him. I think he's going to be fun to watch. I think he's going to bring that entertainment. Hey, Terry, you love this. Favorite hobbies: theater,
Yes, he's a theater kid. You said, Abraham, you said top 10?
Top 10. He's definitely in my top 10. And I'm not reading his bio. I'm saying, hey, I talked to him. Great guy, great energy. And it's that excitement when you see somebody knowing that they're about to play the game of Survivor and you see it. And I think he just has that. So he's definitely going to have a good time. So I like Jake.
Jay says that Jake is his winner pick. Tegwyth, what is that face for? I'm going to you next.
This face is because I didn't read the entire thing when I decided what I decided. And now I'm going against what I said earlier about I've got to support my theater girlies because I'm not supporting Jake because he's my first boot.
Ah!
Oh,
So Tegwyth only supports theater girlies, does not.
No, I
support
support
the theater
all.
boys.
I support all theater people. I just didn't read the whole thing. I'm just going. I literally was going off of just vibes, pure vibes.
He's a theater and Dungeons and Dragons nerd.
And I love both of those things.
Compares himself to Wendell, which I know you're also a Wendell fan. Makes the best homemade pizza, apparently. So, first out for Tegwyth. Yep. I have him making the merge, but I think he's going to be kind of like in 6th, 7th, kind of that middle of the road, early jury member. Look at this, Tegwyth. That's all you need to know right there. That's all you need to know because Jake is winner.
Diametrically opposed foes.
Oh my God.
That is also Peter reference.
What a reference. Hamilton. I didn't know we were going to get a Hamilton reference up in here. All right. Next up. Sorry, I have to scroll down. I think her name's Keturah Tops. Another attorney. She's a civil rights attorney, though. 35 years old. Born in St. Louis, Missouri. Current residence, Brooklyn, New York. 3 words to describe her. Calculating, determined, unexpected. Tegwyth, is this a girly that you support?
Yes. I believe that she is coming in 2nd place.
Wow.
I think being a civil rights attorney, I feel like you have to, number one, like have your arguments, like our attorneys in general, right? You have to have everything very outlined and ready to go. But specifically with civil rights, I feel like you have to, be very calculated is the wrong word, but just like very, present in all of your arguments. So I think that she's going to be thinking through things quite a bit. My worry is that maybe people won't see her game as much as I would like, maybe she would like, or I would like to win. So I think she's going to not get the votes that she needs. But I do think that she is going to go far. And I think that she's coming in 2nd. Yeah.
Oh, we are, how do you say the word, diametrically opposed foes with this one? I think she could be 2nd out.
Oh, wow.
I have her going pre-merge. She is a couple notes that I took. Proud of who she is as a woman, a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and a child of poverty. Love all of that. Compares herself to Natalie and Spencer. Shocked to hear the Spencer connection, but believes she'll be a whole new player entirely. I respect that. Everyone else has been like, I'm going to be like this person. I'm going to be like this person. She said, okay, if you need an answer, I'll give you an answer, but I'm going to be my own player. That's what's going to happen. She's very against privilege and active in the fight against racism. Love that for her as well. And then one thing that caught me is her biggest inspiration is herself. She named her younger self as her biggest inspiration.
Love that.
It's good. It's cool. It kind of throws me off a little bit. Here, when you are what screams about Keturah to me is when you're such a big activist, especially against some issues, you're very opinion driven, and I think that could affect her in the game. Much like I talked about Emily earlier as someone who you could get into an argument with, I could see that happening with Keturah here. Love her smile. So I could be completely wrong. Granted, I put it out there. We have never met these. Well, we've met some of them. I have never met her. So I don't know, but something tells me that this is another girl who could kind of turn heads when it comes to getting in an argument with someone and kind of playing herself out of the game when it's like, look, you had the numbers and then you started a disagreement
Mm.
that led to your elimination. That's what I'm concerned about. I love everything that she fights for. I love everything that she stands for. She is a powerful woman, and I love everything about her, but that's what makes me nervous is I have, especially coming from the theater community, I have friends who are very, very big activists, and that is such a great thing to be, but they are always opinion driven, and they get in some arguments that they just need to kind of step back on at that given moment because it's not the right time. And that's what I'm worried about her.
Mm.
Abraham, what are you thinking?
Again, I'm gonna go ahead and say I met her in person and accidentally confused her with one of the other contestants. But her response to my confusion was, "No, I'm this one." Again, meeting people and seeing them in their natural element kind of determines how you actually look at them, because you don't have any reason to be anything but either yourself or somebody else. And she was really polite about it and whatnot. Again, excellent background. We got a lot of lawyers this year, which is going to be really interesting in lawyers against lawyers, and see how they balance each other out and how they try to play and manipulate, because they all have a legal mind. But we've all seen previous lawyers get dusted on Survivor as well.
That's screaming. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. I was just saying, adding to that note of all the lawyers, that's screaming a chaotic season ahead, and I love it. I am here for it.
There's a lot of lawyers in there for different genres of lawyers, because she's civil rights. I forgot what Julie is. She's a lawyer. Jake is finishing up law when I talked to him, so he's a lawyer. So it's going to be interesting how all this law is going to pan out in the game of Survivor and how you play. One of my concerns is she's definitely in my top 5. I think she's going to maneuver through, make it to the top 5, but she's almost colorblind. And there's some times where you have to deal with certain things that are color related. And
don't give her the block puzzle.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to impact her game. I would rank her higher, but you could put in a situation where she's on an individual challenge by herself, and there's something you have to see that's in color that would knock her off. But I think she's going to play a great game. I think the lawyer element is going to be outstanding. I love that she's a civil rights attorney. We had a time to talk about some of that when I chit-chatted with her. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they all intersect. And I'm going to take this off of Tegwyth again. It all depends on what trial she ends up on. But I think this is going to be some fun this season on this lawyer deal.
Here's a few comments that we have from Chris. Lawyers don't tend to go very well either. That is true. We'll have to see what happens this season. This is going to break your heart, Tegwyth. I feel like Katora could be like a Claire type who everyone hypes up but goes pretty early. That would be devastating. And then Chris agreeing with me. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Randy. Love the thing she's fighting for, but that kind of energy could get grating. So, I hope, as always, I hope she proves me wrong, and I hope she makes the merge. I really do, because she seems like an amazing person, and I want to see her make the merge. Next up, we have, with the best head of hair going out on the island, we have Caleb. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Greberworld, maybe. 29 years old, from Port something, Canada. Currently resides in Vancouver, Canada. So he is the Canadian this season. I believe the only one we have. We know Canadians usually do well. He's in software sales. 3 words to describe him: charismatic, opportunistic, and a golden retriever. I love that. I love that statement right there. Tegwyth, what are we thinking about Caleb? Tell me where you're at.
Here's the thing. I think Caleb is really cool. My first instinct when seeing him is my first instinct just seeing him was winner. Like, that was my first instinct. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the pants. Like, maybe it's the outfit. Maybe it's the smile. Maybe I've seen his video. His video is very, outgoing. So my first instinct is winner. When I delve a little deeper and I look at like other things he says, like, he's been watching Survivor for a really long time. He says that like $1 million goes even further than Canada. That's why one of the reasons he watches Survivor, like all of this stuff. I think he's going to do really well. And honestly, if I don't go with my gut and he wins, I'm going to be really mad. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to lock Caleb in as my winner pick. It never turns out well. Caleb, usually my winners are merge boots. Not the last couple of times though. But it's just, I don't know. The vibes are good. something about him. Something about him.
Let me add on to the vibes. He is my winner pick, so I will double down on the luck for you, Caleb. Not only do you have Tegwyth's pick luck, but you also have my pick luck. He is my winner pick as well. This guy screams winner. He is going to be the third Canadian winner out of 5 seasons so far in the new era. I absolutely love, like I said, how he said he's like a golden retriever. Love his sense of humor about the 1 million going farther in Canada. He said he would love to compare himself to Tony, but out of respect, he doesn't. Love that. Love that. You got to put some, there's so many people here who compare themselves to Sari, Tony. Like you have to earn that. Like those are legends of the game. Has lived in 27 different countries. So, as he works remotely, so, he's living the dream. I would love to do that, like travel around. He's going to be really engraved in different cultures. I think that's going to help him connect with everybody out there. Let's see some of these comments. We all take that back now. LOL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, Caleb.
Chris says, who did he actually compare himself to? He didn't. He literally just said, I would like to compare myself to Tony, but I'm going to not do that out of respect. JE, before you get to Abraham, my boy Caleb, he's going to do well. Canadians in the new era so far have an average placement of 5.33. So I have him making finale and getting 5th place. So, Chris, one more comment. Yeah, I agree. He looks like the kind of guy who could win. So I'm with you, Tegwyth. Team Caleb. A lot of people saying maybe he's going to win. Abraham, is he your winner? There is no way we go 3 for 3 here with winner picks.
No, he's not. What's wrong with y'all? No. I love Caleb. Again, great personality. Again, I like high energy people. I think he has a very diverse background with a lot of things that he had to overcome. I just like the guy. It's one of the people that when you meet him and sit down with him, you be like, you could have a cup of tea with a stranger type guy. And he just gives that personality off. The Canadian background, they've been kicking us down right now. So I love Erica, Marianne, all the best of them as well for winning for Canada. He's in my top 3. I think he's going to do very well. I think the only thing he's going to run into is personalities on the tribe. I think that sometimes when you come in and you're just too happy, and we saw it with Marianne where she really wasn't a threat up front. She just was too happy and it was being annoying. And can you balance that out? I think he's definitely going to go far in the game. He's definitely in the top 3, but not my winner pick. No, but I think he's going to have fun. And, I'm always leaning towards the IT folks. So he's definitely an IT guy. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play, but he does have a great personality, everybody. And I'm looking forward to see that come across on the screen when we see him this season. But no, he's not my winner.
With my luck and Tegwyth's picked luck combined, this guy is for sure going out first overall. Philip says, everyone's Tony, everyone's Parv. A lot of people did compare themselves to Parv and Wentworth. Love his self-awareness. Yes, it is literally perfect. All right, who we got next? Next up, we have Kelly Nalbanian. Tried my best. 30 years old, born in Weston, Connecticut, current residence, New York. Gosh, Tegwyth, you and your New Yorkians are showing up. She is a critical care nurse, scrappy, deliberate, and intuitive. Someone that I think could go far if she kind of lies low. Maybe could be a sneaky pick to make it towards the end. Tegwyth, I'm going to go to you first. We have another person from New York here. So how is Kelly going to do?
Love that. Love that. Love her. So I think that she's very interesting just overall being a critical care nurse. She talks about, COVID, everything that, happens or happened with that in her life. She loves strategy board games. I think that leans into her favor. I am worried just about the luck aspect in terms of her game, in terms of Kelly's game. I kind of think that she's going out pre-merge, but just right close to the merge. Honestly, for no reason other than vibes, just because I'm worried that it could just be a bad timing where the chips fall kind of away and it just so happens that it's going to be her. So if we're following along with the numbers, which no one else is except for me, I have her going out 7th, coming in 12th place.
Are you I hate to bring this up, Tegwyth, but you've brought this up the last couple of seasons because it's been constantly happening, and I hope it doesn't this season. Are we concerned about the female elimination early on pre-merge?
Always concerned, but did you not hear who my first boot was? So it's not going to happen.
That's fair.
I'm gonna get 100% right on my thing, so it's totally fine. But always concerned about that. Literally, the fact that it's happened so many times. The first boot out of most of these seasons from the new era, the first boot from each tribe has been like, I think it's something like 80% women. Where it's just not a great, that's not great. So I am concerned about that, as I usually am going into a season as Survivor. So I'm really hoping that this is, not the case, obviously. But I really, sometimes it's just unfortunate when it has
very, very unfortunate. Abraham, tell us it's not going to happen for Kelly. Tell us she's going to make the merge.
She's going to make the merge.
Yeah.
I love Kelly. Look, Kelly works in the medical field. Some of the difficult people in the world come through medical at the worst times in their lives. She's worked through COVID when it was scary out there in those streets. I just think that she has the grit and grind to make it through that adjustment part. Because here's the thing about it is, you're adjusting to people, but you're also adjusting to the environment, the elements. I don't want anybody to go out to Survivor and say, all I got to do is beat the person next to me. No, you got to beat that bamboo that's sticking in your back. The one that you got to beat the ability to do something in 12 hours when you're not doing anything. You got to be competitive against that just as well as people and stay sharp at it. She has seen what the edge of destruction looks like, and she's walked it. I like Kelly. Kelly's in my top 10. She's going to make it past the merge, and we're going to see how she does after that. But she's definitely making it past the merge. I think you got to have the energy for it, and I think she has it. I think she understands that difficult times make good people, and I think she's going to rock and roll. So I'm looking forward to seeing her there. She's not going to be kicked out for the merge because she got into a beef or a tap with somebody, because she's already gotten in that with dealing with people. She's a nurse. When you see a nurse, you usually see you on a good day. You ain't that mad about, hurt about, sad about, discontent. Everything's going on in the nurse's world. And I think that's going to benefit her in the game of Survivor. And I think she's going to be able to manage that. So I think she's going to have some fun. I think we're going to enjoy some watching her out there. So she's definitely top 10.
She is something I didn't know about her. Member of the LGBTQ community. She's got a wonderful fiance. She's a nerdy girl. She just keeps surprising me. And for the sole reason of Kelly, we are literally meant to be best friends. Her hobbies are playing guitar. I like to think that I can sing. So yeah, we can make a connection there. She likes to watch and play soccer. I can watch and talk about soccer all day long. And she loves board games. I am a board games enthusiast. I love strong strategic games. So I think we could get along very well. She relates herself to Wentworth, Parvati, and Sari. Bold statement. We talked about it earlier. Those are three really, really like strong legends of the game. I think she's going to make merge, and I think she could make the final 6. I think she could make it to the finale episode. Next up, we got, I forgot to swipe down again. We have Sifu Alsa, a guy that I feel like out of the entire cast has not really been publicly about like talking about being on the show. He's 30 years old from O'Fallon, Illinois. So he's right next door to me. He's a gym owner. Dude is ripped. He's outgoing, loving, and empowering. I think he's a giant teddy bear. I think he is literally the description of a giant teddy bear. Compares himself to Tony Vlachos. Don't like that. I think like I said, you have to earn that comparison. One of his pet peeves is lying. You're going on Survivor. Lying and mean people were his pet peeves. So I got this guy going pre-merge. You cannot get annoyed about lying because you're going to have to lie. We've seen it in this game. There's been very few times that truthful games have worked out for someone. Mm-hmm. And even if it did work out and you made it to the end, you usually didn't win because people are like, they think you're full of BS because you're like, I played a truthful game, yada, yada, yada. So I think Sifu, I think he's going to be a pre-merge boo. Tegwyth, what are we thinking?
That's something that I noticed. I also will say though, I think he's right around the merge area. He's been a martial artist his whole life. He studied Yang style Tai Chi, which I'm not sure what that is, but he is doing other things. He's a gym owner. He's clearly, strong. And I think working in kind of the hospitality style industry can lend itself well maybe to your game. I do think that it could be a problem slightly, and I'm worried that people are going to worry about him in individual challenges. So I have him going like right mergatory ish. So I have him going out 10th, coming in 9th place. So like pretty much right there in the middle. Which could be merged, could not be merged. I'm not totally sure. But I think that, he does a bunch of different things. He plays guitar. He does all this stuff. I don't know. I think it's kind of up in the air for him.
Chris, I was going to say, Chris says he might be like a Jonathan possibly, where he just destroys the challenges and is loyal. He very well could be. Abraham, what's your opinion on Sifu?
Sifu's an X factor. I think it's going to come down to who he teams up with. Mm-hmm. I really think he's going to have somebody standing in front of him speaking for the most part. I think if you get him on your side and you say, look, I'll do the heavy lifting, i.e. lie to people, and I just need you to do this part right here and we're good. I think if he teams with the right people, I think Sifu makes it out of the merge. I think the individual part of the game is where they're going to take him down. So I'm going to say he's going to make it past the merge, but he's definitely an X factor because he has all the tools to be able to manage himself through the game of Survivor. He's going to have the physical part of it, but he also has the piece that comes with martial arts. So he can manage all that part of it. He can deal with people. He said he loved Dragon Ball Z. So I'm familiar with Dragon Ball Z. So I think with the nerd folks in there that play board games and things like that, he's going to be able to communicate in a way that they understand. It's like saying you one of the characters out of Dragon Ball Z and you two don't know what I'm talking about, but that person does know. He can speak a hidden language. And I like that about him. To me, he's an X factor, but I think his game is going to come down to who does he actually build an alliance with to get him through the game of Survivor to a point where he may be able to stand on his own. He's my X factor. So I'm going to put him in. I say he's going to make it to the merge, but he's definitely an X factor. I don't know which way it's going to go with him.
Okay, this is what I've known Abraham for about 3 years now, roughly. I think 2 or 3 years. And I'm just learning he plays the Catan game and he likes, what was it? You like anime?
Anime. Who doesn't look at anime, man? What's wrong with you?
I just started watching anime. So I'll have to check out more anime. Let me say that. Jay's calling you out, Tegwyth. Didn't you say D was getting 9th place earlier?
No, I said, hold on, I have the receipts. D is coming in.
she said I got a receipt.
It's the opposite. So I said D, hold on. So D is coming in, going out 10th. Coming in, no, sorry. This is when it gets confusing. It's going out 9th, coming in 10th.
Boom. Okay, so it's just reverse. Okay. Yeah. I was like, man, dude's calling you out over here. You guys were friends.
But you're correct. It's like one after the other.
Next up, we have, there she is, Kendra McGuire, I believe, a 31 years old born in Haverhill, Massachusetts, now lives in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. She's a bartender. The 3 words to describe her: outgoing, determined, and enthusiastic. Abraham, why don't you start us off with Kendra? What are you thinking about her?
I love all bartenders.
I love that we have a bartender on this season. Yes, representation of the service industry. Yes.
And here's the thing about it is, I love people that can talk to people because it gives you an edge because you have the ability to be able to talk to people at different moments. And, we've all been in a bar. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, sometimes we're mad and whatever. But the consistent part is always the bartender. I think she has the personality for it. I think she's going to be a big contributor to her tribe. She said some of her pet peeves. Nobody likes anybody to chews food in their mouth open. So snoring is going to be a problem. You're on Survivor, man. You're stuck. not saying please and thank you. Those may be things that trip her up because everybody has different social norms. But I think her bartending capability is going to come back on there. Not her job, just her ability to be able to say, hey, I know these people are having a bad day and I'm going to try to help them. She said she's going to be the sole survivor because I'm not Moxie. I'm unwavering, optimistic, courage, and get in instincts and will guide me the way through sole survivor. I'm going to put her, again, she's on that bubble too. I think she's going to make it past the merge. I think she's just going to have that kind of personality that you want to do an alliance with, and I like her. So, again, as her personality comes off of the page, I think she's going to have that type of personality, can have temperament in it. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I got her going as at least making it to the merge, but then after that, it gets kind of murky.
But I agree. I do think she's going to make the merge. As a bartender, you have to be good at multitasking. So I'm kind of interested to see her skills on some of the challenges. They've got good hands, flipping glasses around and everything. That's why I'm not a bartender. Like I said, outgoing, enthusiastic, compares herself to be a mix of players. Amanda, Michelle, Kim, Carolyn from last season, she really connects with. She would love to find 2 people to go all the way to the end with. That's her strategy. Find 2 people, take them to the end. That screams Randy Bruce, and we don't do that. I do that in orgs where I get 2 people I'm loyal with, and I always get backstabbed at like final 5, final 7, because I want to be happy-go-lucky and take all my friends to the end, and they usually say, okay, we got to cut you loose. So this is a lock for me too. She's going to make the merge, but she is going to get cut at 4, 5, 6, somewhere like that. She is going to get backstabbed. Usually when you have that mindset of, we're just all going to go to the end together, we've worked together this entire game. Yes, it can happen. We saw it last season with the Tika trio in Carolyn, Jam, and well, it would have been Carson. We kind of saw them go to the end together. Once again, they backstabbed kind of Carson. They knew they needed to get Carson out. It doesn't end well for the person who's like, we're just all going to go to the end together. So that's what worries me for her, but I do think she's going to make the merge. Tegwyth, where are you at?
I'm actually on the opposite side as y'all. I think she's going to go out second.
Ooh,
I think it's honestly going to be one of those things where she's just on the wrong side. Her alliance, that really core group that she wants, she's just going to be, that core group is not going to be in the majority. They think they are, but they're not. And I think it's maybe going to burn her a little bit. So I have her going out really early merge. So I have her going out second. Not because I don't love everything that I work in the hospitality industry. I'm an events manager at a restaurant. My boyfriend used to be a bartender. I love all of that. And I feel like bartenders and servers and people like that typically do really well, but it's one of those things where she wants to be super loyal and she wants to stick with these people. And I'm worried that could be a problem for her in the long run. I'm thinking almost that tribal a couple seasons ago with Jenny. Was it Jenny? Where she gets
yes,
out
completely screwed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it was a bunch
42,
of loyal to one person. And then there was one person who was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And he, throws somebody else under the bus. So I'm worried it could be something like that. That could be, an issue with her going on. So that's why I have her going out that early.
We have 14 minutes to get through 2 more. We are down to the final 2. These are always long episodes because we have so many people to get through. So next up, we have Sean Edwards, 35 years old, even though he does not look, I need whatever he's eating. He does not look 35 whatsoever. His hometown, he was born Lawrence, New Jersey. He now lives in Provo, Orem, Utah. He is a school principal. 3 words to describe you, although technically it's more. It says 3 words, and he said connection seeker, ambitiously minded, and magnetic energy. I'm not a mathematician, but the principal gave us 6 words instead of 3 words. Technically, I guess you could say 5 if you count the hyphenated. So, all right, let me go to Abraham first for Sean. I will say Philip said, ooh, Jenny is a great comparison. Bruce, right away, you got this. Bruce is chilling with us today. I love Bruce.
That.
I'm going to change my pick just because he stayed here the entire time. Abraham, what do we think about Sean?
Somebody got to be the first one out. Sean is my first boot out. Somebody got to be. Somebody got to be the first boot out. I know he comes from a teaching background, dealing with kids, things of that nature. He has a lot going on, but I'm like, sometimes it's about how do you fit in, and do you fit into that tribe quick enough? And for me, I'm like, will he fit in quick enough? It's not saying he won't. He may win the game of Survivor. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm just saying, I look at his videos and I'm just like, it's okay. So I'm putting Sean at pre-merge. I'm not gonna put him at the first boot out, but I don't think he's gonna make it past merger. I don't think it's gonna make it past the merge. I just don't. It's looking at, and again, we look at the videos and we read the thing, and I'm like, great story. He has a great background story. His older sister having autism, everything else is there. It's just that, can you get to the game of Survivor and be a part of that environment and use everything that you have to win? I don't know how Sean is going to do. So I'm going to put him he's going to be out before pre-merge. He's going to be on second boot.
Second boot. I can just tell by Tegwyth's reaction. She does not agree whatsoever.
No, I am the other side. So when I was deciding my winner pick, I was going between Caleb and Sean. I really feel like Sean has a lot going for him in his like background that I feel like he can roll with the punches. Like one of the things, like he says he's the first openly gay principal in his school district. The other thing is his older sister Elaine has autism, is nonverbal, aggressive, and self-injurious, and cannot live independently. And he says, although she faces more challenges every day than other people, she smiles, laughs, and gets through it. I hope one day to have an ounce of her bravery. Like that, I feel like, having that kind of in your background, I think he says he had to work through some like religious trauma. So he knows how to connect with other people on that kind of a level. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things going for him. So I have him coming in third. Because I ended up going with Caleb as the winner. I have him coming in third. I think that I don't know. I think another things he says is he thinks his social game is going to be the thing that really pulls him through. And the last little bit, which you always have to have as a Survivor player, he says, I'm ready to claim the $1 million now. He's ready to claim it now. I think that, he's going to go far. So he's coming in third place for me.
Book that check. I love the confidence. I do. He identifies a lot like Zeke Smith, being a member of the LGBTQ community. He loves the adversity that Zeke had to face and how he handled it. But he feels like he'll play like Todd Herzog and Sharif Fields. And we had someone in the chat. His story is similar to Todd's. Todd 2.0, we'll have to get Todd on the show sometime to see how he feels about that. But I like Sean. I do. I think he's going to make a merge, and I agree, Tegwyth. I think he's going to go very far. I had him at one point top 3. Then I was like, I could see him losing that fire. Like, he just has an incredible story. In my mind, a lot of times I like to try to play out the season. And in my mind, I was just sitting there like, I could see it now, him losing that fight. I could see myself at the Bryson Wynn Presents finale in Los Angeles, and I see him lose fire. And then everyone is so sad because he's got such a beautiful story. I can see it now. He's probably my pick for losing that fire. We got one more to go here. So let's go. The 18th person. So Sabia Broderick. She is 28 years old from Locust Grove, Georgia, but now she resides in Jacksonville, North Carolina. You thought I was going to say Florida. No, Jacksonville, North Carolina. She is a truck driver. 3 words to describe her: resilient, vibrant, and proud. Tegwyth, in the off chance we lose you here, go ahead and start us off with Sabia.
First off, her outfit, best outfit, period. She looks absolutely freaking fantastic. I have her middle of the road. Like, I think that she could make merge. I think she could go, I think she's one of those players that it really, as it most does, I've said it 1,000 times, depends on the tribe, right? I have her coming in 13th. Oh, wait. Yeah. So I have her coming in like late merge. So I think she's coming in 13th, going out 6th. No, other way around. Coming in 6th. No, I don't remember my numbers. She's middle of the road, like 6-ish area. But I could see her going pre or post merge. None of that made sense. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
I love it. No, you went the entire episode before losing your numbers. You did really good. Abraham, what do you think about Sabia? Is she your winner pick? Because I don't think you've said your winner pick yet.
Well, I'm going to put that down as X factor. Tegwyth, because you really didn't give an answer for that one. It was full support on both sides, merge, pre-merge.
I stand by
Great
it.
personality. She comes from a military background as well. She served time in the Marine Corps as well. So I think she has the right balance. And as a truck driver, you got to have some of that. She can sit in her own aloneness. Because at the end of the day, there's some times in Survivor when you're just feeling like you're totally alone. And I think she's going to be able to balance that out. Everything comes down, and I think, can she balance the game of Survivor? She has a great story in the background, but I'm like, okay, can she balance it? She's definitely going to make it past the merge, but I think this is going to come down again to what tribe do you land on? I think how far she goes in the first part of the game is going to be determining what particular tribe you land on. But if she makes it past merge, she's in my top 5.
Wait, so who's your winner, Abraham? Did you ever say your winner? Did I forget about it already in this 2-hour video?
Man, you know who my winner pick is. We're playing.
Who's your winner pick?
Bruce is my winner pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's my winner pick? Bruce.
She did spend 4 years in the Marines. She did say when they asked her who you compare yourself to, this is a great answer. I've already stated, I don't think you should compare yourself to the greats like Tony and Sandra and Suri, but she says, I hope I can carry the legacy Suri left behind. That is a perfect way to put it. That's terrific answer. I hope she does well. I have her going pre-merge. I have her kind of that Jenny situation you were talking about, Tegwyth, where someone always gets screwed and it's not their fault whatsoever. I think that's going to be Sabia here. I think she gets screwed and it's not her fault. I could see her being the 3rd or 4th one out. But I hope she goes farther. And yes, she's rocking the outfits. By the way, I'll make this announcement here. We have a whole new team of podcasters for this season doing a whole new show called Got Something For You. It plays off of Jeff Probst's, his old saying, hey, I got something for you. Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a whole new show. Am I still here? Connection's kind of bugging out. It's
Still
called
good.
Got Something For You. And their first episode, one of their first episodes, they are going to review everybody's marooning outfits. And they're just going to say how they look, how well they would work on the island. Well, you're thinking if they do that, they need someone who's been out on the island, experience. They're going to have Claire from season 44 coming on and breaking down everybody's outfits. This is going to be, if you guys have never met Claire, this is going to be such an entertaining episode. You got most of that. But yes, he says, got nothing for you. Yeah. So it's kind of a play on words for that. But this is, I got something for you, because we're actually going to be producing some content. So it's a play on words. So there you go. Our winner picks are out there. So Tegwyth and I say Caleb is going to win. I am so sorry for you, Caleb. That is like a double whammy. Abraham is backing his boy Bruce to come back and take home the crown and show everyone what should have happened on Survivor 44. We are just a little over 2 weeks away. Don't forget that the episodes this season, 1.5 hours long. There's an interview. Tyson had an interview with an executive producer who believes that they use the extra half hour in a great way, and it's going to feel more like classic Survivor. So excited about that. Once more, pay attention to our social media at Survivor Now podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Survivor Now on X, or at Survivor Now Pod, on X, as we will give you more information on how to get into this fantasy game where you can win a cameo from your favorite player this season, or you can win a custom pop from Todd Herzog. All this is free. You're not paying for it. You're getting a free pop, a free cameo. You're going to want in this fantasy competition. We have a lot more news coming out as the season gets closer. Like I said, a little over 2 weeks away. That is insane. Thank you guys for hanging with us. If you enjoyed this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. Go check us out on Spotify. You can check us out. It's now called Reality Now on Spotify, as we cover more than Survivor. You can check out all of our Big Brother coverage. Abraham and I are going to be doing an amazing race cast assessment later on today, I believe. So stay tuned for that. If it does change time, we'll let you know. But as always, thanks for tuning in. And we will catch you guys next time as we get ready for Survivor 40.